What's going on, you guys? Full Steer, and I'm back with another video. Today's video, I'll be doing an in-depth REK'SAI jungle guide. She is a really strong jungler to carry with, especially in solo queue, because you have all those tunnels that can help you with a lot of ganks. She also scales pretty well, depending on your build, of course. And she is very versatile as well. So definitely a champion I would recommend you to pick up. She is not that difficult to learn, so definitely look into it. Yeah, let's get right into the runes then. Now, the runes are pretty much 2 setups / 3 setups technically, so I'll go over all of them. The first setup is the Electrocute setup. This is the setup I personally like the most because it gives me a lot of early game pressure damage. It's just a lot of burst damage you can get off. Combine Electrocute with your E, with your ultimate, you will be able to one-shot pretty much anything, especially 1v1. If you're maybe facing multiple people at once, then it could get a little bit more difficult, but 1v1 you will win out in most situations. So definitely that's what I really like about Electrocute. Now this is the setup I go: Electrocute, sudden impact for the, of course, combination with your E. The other two, I mean, nah, sudden impact probably better. Or not probably, definitely better. Because if you E in, you knock someone up with your W, then you auto attack Q, and then Q again, and then E for true damage, and you could potentially ult after that. It's pretty much going to be a guaranteed one-shot, especially combined with this. Now, I like to pick up Zombie Ward here because this will give me a lot of extra added vision. Again, in the very low stage of, like, a very low elo, you could also go with, like, Eyeball Collection because of the fact that people just don't place wards. So you don't have too much effectiveness apart from your own wards, of course, with the Zombie Ward. So you won't be killing any wards, really, because no one places any. Which is pretty troll, but hey. Now, here, I like to go for Ravenous Hunter, mainly because you have your E for Gap Closer, you have your like Smite for Gap Closer if you're going Blue Smite, which honestly I would recommend. You could go Relentless Hunter as well if you want to. It's going to give you a little bit more roam speed, which means you're going to be able to roam the map a bit faster. But the thing with REK'SAI is she has a lot of tunnels. And because of her tunnels, you'll be able to just roam the map. If you place them correctly, you'll be able to roam the map fast anyway. So you don't really need this. And it's not going to help you because it's out of combat movement speed. So it's not going to help you stick with people, if you know what I'm saying. So it's not worth going on REK'SAI as much because of your tunnels and because you cannot use it really to get under people, because if they hit you once, then you're going to be in combat and you lose all that movement speed from Hunter. This, however, applies to a lot of REK'SAI's abilities. You can heal a lot back with your E and your ultimate, also your Q. All that extra damage that you just do to people, it's going to get a healing from this, which is really, really crucial in certain situations. It's going to help you a lot, especially because you don't really build any lifesteal items. So for that matter, Ravenous Hunter is going to help you a lot in just surviving. Now that's the setup if you're going Electrocute. Now secondary tree here, I mean, the inspiration tree, as of recording this video, it's not nerfed yet, as you can see. It's perfect timing and stop magical footwear still in there, so you could technically go that for like the split second that it's still viable or still available, but the patch is, I believe, tonight actually. So this will be moved up here, and then you can pick one of the two. And honestly, there are better options for REK'SAI, especially as a secondary tree to this. So I wouldn't really go with this tree, to be honest. After the nerf, like, if you could pick these two up, then sure, you can. But since that's gonna get nerfed, then it's not that worth it. The better choice here is to go with either the Legend Alacrity. Sorry, not the Legend Alacrity, what I'm saying. Like, you simply just pick up Coup de Grace with, or Coup de Gras, or however you pronounce it, with the Triumph, and you'll be able to just sustain a lot, deal more damage with this, and then that's a really solid burst damage combination. That's the one for this one. So definitely what you want to get here is, this is probably your best option. The other option, however, is you can go secondary through with Celerity and then maybe pick up Scorch, but then again, Water Walking would be a little bit better. In this case, you can also go with the Ultimate Head to get your ultimate cooldown lower, apart from like the Celerity. Celerity is pretty nice because it increases your movement speed, which is, in this case, going to help you stick with people, so you can knock them up a little bit better. So this could help you in that front, but in my opinion, if you're going Electrocute build, you might as well go for full burst build. So you can go Coup de Grace for more burst damage, especially when you ult people for execute damage. And then, of course, your E will also just deal more damage with this. And then you have the Triumph to help you survive extra with the Ravenous Hunter. So if you get a kill, you get health back, but then also you get the Ravenous Hunter healing. So you're going to be a lot more like durable in fights, especially towards the later stages, because 12% of your missing health will mean a lot on REK'SAI since you're building a few tank items to make sure you can do your stuff. So this is one setup, the Electrocute setup. This is the setup I personally like the best on REK'SAI right now. The other one comes very close though. The other one is the Press the Attack setup. Press the Attack synergizes really well with REK'SAI, especially if you go Titanic Hydra as an item, because it will reset your auto attack again. So you can knock up auto attack Q and then Titanic Hydra right after, so you can 3 auto attacks really fast. It's gonna instantly proc Press the Attack, which then will multiply all the rest of your damage. So you can just like E for more damage, ult for more damage, all that. It's gonna be a very strong 1v1 build, especially as soon as you get that Titanic Hydra. So that's the option here, and then you simply just go here, Alacrity, coup de grace, and then you pick up the secondary domination because you want sudden impact. And Ravenous Hunter is pretty big to have. Like, it will matter a lot. Whatever build you go for, this healing is so good on REK'SAI. Combine that with the healing you get from your like your passive / your fury regeneration, you can survive a lot of fights, and it's gonna mean a lot. So this is the second setup you could go for, and the final setup is a setup I wouldn't really recommend, but I at least wanted to mention it. Is the Aftershock the Aftershock setup that some people have been running on REK'SAI. I can see why this is pretty decent, because as soon as you knock someone up, you're gonna gain that extra armor magic resist. It's gonna help you with diving the enemy team a little bit. But honestly, the reason I don't like it that much is because of the fact that you lose a lot of like damage from just straight up 1v1s early game. And that's gonna matter quite a lot because REK'SAI's, like, she is really strong at this 1v1s if you have either Press the Attack or Electrocute. And with Aftershock, you're gonna be dealing a considerably like lower amount of damage. Your damage is gonna get a big hit if you go by going for this. So this is not that preferred, and you'll be pretty tanky anyway later in the game because you are looking to build like at least 2 tank items. So I personally don't find it that useful, but some people still use it, and I'll give you the setup for it. Now you can go Aftershock then. Now this depends a little bit. You can go Unflinching into like heavy CC comps, which is going to be able to synergize really well with like Merc threats, so you can easily up your tenacity by a lot. You can combine Unflinching with like the secondary tree here, the tenacity reduction here, and then with Mercs you're pretty much not going to get CC down at all, which is going to help a lot in those situations as well. But this will help push turrets, of course. So, I mean, into heavy CC comps, pick this, else you just pick Demolish. This one, I mean, you can do this one, but I like the Demolish better for just turret pressure, because then you can just go into a lane after you get the kill and just pressure the turret down with your laner a little bit faster. Now here, I prefer conditioning because as a jungler, you don't really need the early armor magic resist. It's better to go for the after 10 minutes and then also increase your armor magic resist by 5%. If you're going Aftershock, you're going a pretty tanky REK'SAI build, so it's definitely better to go conditioning in that case. And then here, Overgrowth is my preferred one, really. This one is definitely still good because it will increase your healing a lot, and since you, again, do want to go with like a lot of healing, your passive will heal you, all that kind of stuff. The Revitalize can be useful, but Overgrowth helps you more because a lot of monsters and minions will die near you. You're going to gain a lot of extra max health, and with the Aftershock build, that's going to provide you with like a bigger health pool, which means you are going to be way tankier, and then that way that works out as well. Now again, heavy CC comps, you can pick the Tenacity second in this one, and then just pick up Triumph, especially on a tanky champion. If you get a takedown, it will restore 12% of your missing health, which is going to mean you're going to be a lot more tanky, just in general. So this combination here is very good. Then this into like heavy CC comps, this is very possible. You can just do this. If the team comps are not that heavy CC, then the Alacrity second is better with like a Demolish setup. You definitely still want Triumph though, because it's going to mean a lot in team fights, especially if you like get an assist on something after you dive in. That 12% missing health is going to mean a lot, since you are going to have a massive health pool with this setup. Now again, this isn't the setup I would really recommend you to go for, but it's definitely not a bad setup. The one I prefer is the Electrocute setup with a close second to the Precision tree with the Press the Attack. So those are the rune setups for REK'SAI. I wanted to mention all of them and not leave any out. I didn't really mention the Inspiration tree for anything right now because it's going to get nerfed next patch, which is going to be tonight, depending on when I release this actually. Probably tonight, yeah. So it's not that worth to go for the combination anymore. So the setups right now, those are the setups you want to go for. Those are the runes. Now let's get into the items. Items on REK'SAI are like pretty similar no matter what build you go for. The jungle item start is always going to be Where's the machete? This one. Machete start with the refillable potion. A pretty basic start. You're gonna auto attack a lot on REK'SAI, so you'll definitely want to have the Hunter's Machete. It's gonna just be the best item to start with, straight up. Now, the Smite you want to go with, it's either the Blue Smite or the Warding Smite. Red Smite is a possibility, but it's better to go Blue Smite on REK'SAI than Red Smite because of the fact that you have some trouble sticking with people, and if you can Blue Smite somebody, you can get under them easier, or stick with them a little bit easier. It's also going to allow you to Smite ult somebody if you can get the range on that. So it's definitely the most beneficial to you to go for Blue Smite. It's going to help you the most in just general, especially if you do this with the Electrocute build, because then you're going to have insane amounts of burst damage combined like with Electrocute, your E, your ultimate, your Blue Smite. You're just going to insta-gip anything really at some stage in the game. So yeah, definitely want to go with Blue Smite in my opinion. The Warding Smite's also very, very possible. It will synergize well with oh god. Zombie Ward Rune, that's it. Yeah, so that can definitely work out too, but that's more like a high elo thing for more vision control, where it's more important to have that vision control. So until that point, you can, in my opinion, go for the Stalker's Blade for your best option. Again, the Red Smite, just because, like, some people will ask this, why would I go Red Smite on REK'SAI? The reason is, it doesn't help you as much. I mean, sure, you're going to be a little bit more tanky, and you're going to do more damage in a one, like, your 1v1s are going to be better. But generally, if you get under somebody with REK'SAI, your chances of one-shotting something is really high, especially if you get a little bit ahead in the game. So it's better to go with the Blue Smite and have the possibility of getting under or near them and actually sticking with them for like a little bit so you can do your damage than having the Red Smite. So that's the reason that you definitely actually want to go with this. Now, the first main item, of course, you want to go for is the Warrior Enchant on your Blue Smite, slash, like, whatever Smite you have, I suppose. The Warrior Enchant is definitely the best one, unless you want to go for a little bit more tanky with the Aftershock build. You can go for the Cinderhawk then. But the Warrior will provide you with a lot, since REK'SAI's AD scalings are really, really nice, actually. So, get the AD off this, and then you'll be able to just carry a lot better and just deal, like, one-shot damage pretty much to anything. So, yeah. Again, if you're going for the Titanic Hydra build, then Cinderhawk can be better, because then you're kind of looking to rush your Titanic Hydra as like a first item. So you want to go like a Tiamat with like into like a rush Titanic Hydra and then buy like a Cinderhawk afterwards type of deal. That's really the way you want to look at it. So Cinderhawk is an option if you're going for that Titanic Hydra rush build, which is honestly a viable build. It's definitely not bad. And in that situation, you want to get more health, because then Titanic Hydra will balance out the damage you miss, and then Cinderhawk becomes worth it. So unless you're rushing Titanic Hydra, go with Warrior Smite. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say here. And then the boots, I mean, honestly, the boots are literally just Mercs or Ninja Tabai, depending on which one fits into the enemy comp better, or like against the enemy comp better. And yeah. Now, first main items you want to pick up, there are two items really, and only two items. It's the Black Cleaver or the Titanic Hydra again, as I mentioned earlier. You can, if you're going to Titanic Hydra, it's best to rush it as like a first item, because then this will synergize really well with press the attack. And then you can, again, what I said, W, auto attack Q, Titanic Hydra proc to get instant press the attack off in like in a matter of a second. And then you can follow the rest of your damage up just after going after press the attack, so your damage will be amplified. And then that way that works too. Now, if you're going press the attack, you don't have to go to Titanic Hydra rush. You can also go with a Black Cleaver still, and then the Warrior Black Cleaver combo, and then get like a Titanic Hydra, maybe third or fourth item. That works too. But yeah, if you're going to Titanic Hydra rush, then follow that up with Cinderhawk and then boots like in between or something like that. And if you're going with the Black Cleaver, it's Warrior Smite into maybe boots and then Black Cleaver. And then after that, if you go for a Black Cleaver, after that you can go for like a Guardian Angel to follow it up if you're doing pretty well. Because then this will provide you with more attack damage and the survivability that you are kind of lacking with your Titanic Hydra. Sure, you do still have the Ravenous Hunter, which is going to provide you with a lot of tanky stats as well. Or like healing back towards like just being able to like sustain fights a little longer. And then Guardian Angel is just going to be very beneficial in combination with that, because it gives you extra attack damage and because REK'SAI's AD scalings are really good. So that combination will just allow you to dive in, one-shot maybe one or two people, and then get out. Your E will do about approximately 600 to 700 true damage with like these three damage items, the Warrior Smite, Black Cleaver, and then the GA. And then after that, set up with the Black Cleaver, you can go for two tank items. Mostly they come in the form of the Randuins for me, because of the Randuins effect, and because I face a lot of crit champions. If you're facing like a Varus or maybe a Kokmar or so, however, then Random Winds isn't that good. You could better go for another item. But Random Winds is also really good because it gives you active slow, which is pretty much a second blue smite. You can just activate this, get the slow on people and get closer to them, knock them up, and then that way you can still get the kill pretty easily. Random Winds is one of the best tank items on REK'SAI because of the slow effect to add on top of just crit damage reduction. So yeah, for that reason, Random Winds is pretty much always the armor item you want if you're looking for an armor item. Another one, of course, is the Deadman's Plate. It's a really good armor item as well on REK'SAI because it will give you that extra movement speed. So if you're looking to go in, then Deadman's Plate can help you as well. This is more an armor item you want to pick up into, like, again, a Varus 80 carry, Kokma 80, like those types of 80 carries, because then the crit damage reduction won't help you as much. And then it's better to have more movement speed to actually get closer to them faster than, and then knock them up to get going like that. Now, up next, of course, magic resist items. There's plenty of options, really. You can click this. One of my favorite items to pick up as just a magic resist item / armor item in general, Stone Plate. It's a very versatile item. It gives you 80 armor, 80 magic resist if you dive in, and you're looking to dive in quite a good amount. So definitely good. And also, it will double your health in certain situations. Now, another great one is Adaptive Helmet. It will reduce magic damage that hits you, for example, Cassiopeia E, Kokma's auto attacks. It counts. It will reduce it greatly, and it's definitely good. Another one, a great item with a damage setup, with the Black Cleaver setup. If you're looking for a magic resist item, you're still quite a good amount ahead. You can go Warrior, Black Cleaver with the GA, and then pick up a Moss, your magic resist item, to be able to just deal way more damage. And then that way, you're gonna be able to scale with damage. If you're far enough ahead, you can close out games very easily by just one-shotting straight up anything with your E. This is gonna allow you to have about 900 true damage on your E. That's just insane. You're gonna be able to combine it with a blue smite, and it's gonna be just 80 carries gonna get deleted straight up. 80 carries have a 1900 health pool, and an auto attack with an E is insta kill. So there's really no counterplay to that, and that would be a viable choice as well. Those are pretty much the build options on REK'SAI, honestly. I mean, any tank item can be replaced. You can go Spirit Visage, you can go any type of other tank item, just to mention. You can go Locket, especially if you're going with an Aftershock build. You can do all that. You can even still go with the Titanic Hydra setup. You can go Warrior with Black Cleaver into Titanic Hydra, or into GA into Titanic Hydra into a Random Winds. You'll still have a pretty high health pool and still gonna give you auto attack resets, and you can definitely still use all that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much the REK'SAI build. If you guys have any questions on this build, make sure to put them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer those for you. Also, if you enjoyed this video so far, please make sure to hit the thumbs up. Helps me out a lot. And subscribe if you haven't already. You know, it's free. Yeah. So let's get right into the gameplay now. Alright, welcome to the gameplay section of this guide. As you can see, I'm playing REK'SAI, of course, into a Vi. Which, honestly, for me, it's not that bad of a matchup. Especially because if she ults me, and she just gets right on top of me. Easiest kill. You can also, if you're really sick at pressing your W in time, then you could potentially fuck her over, but with canceling her Q. Or if she wants to get away or something. So that's also a plus. But in general, you are better at ganking most of the time early game. Unless you get very unlucky, I suppose. So you should get a lead off that, and you farm a little bit faster in your jungle as well. So in general, should be a favorable matchup. Now, looking at these lanes right now, this is where you want to look, where you want to gank first. There's a lot of options, but usually when I'm this side of the map, I'll try to get my top laner ahead first, especially this scenario. If I get the Riven ahead of Akali, that's pretty much an instant snowball right there, so you could definitely get that going if you might get one kill off that. Mid's kind of hard to gank because Corki does have his W. Unless Talia, of course, lands her knockback, then it's a pretty easy gank, but it's quite a difficult skill shot to land, so I'm not really going to bank on that. I'm just going to accept the fact that Corki will probably just W away. As far as 1v1s go, I should probably win it early on against Vi. She might beat me on level 3, depending on if she lands her Q or not. But if she doesn't land her Q, it's an easy win, and if it gets to level 5, level 6, I'll always win, because you can just do way more damage with REK'SAI than you can with Vi at that stage. Let me follow myself. So just basic clear, starting bot side red buff. You can also start top side, but It's really important for Rek'Sai to get red buff, so if you, like, maybe get cheesed or something, like, starting red buff on either side of the map on Rek'Sai is probably your best bet, because you just guarantee your red buff. You could always do, like, a cheese gank or something, or maybe, yeah, who knows. I mostly just start red buff. Now, Vi also did the same thing. I was like, alright, I might be able to invade this Vi. She did, like, an extra camp, but she was already top lane, so she did the same clear I did, but then, of course, because she got in a position between me and Riven, there was no real way for her to go. And I just flashed under her. Or, like, did I flash under her? Let me just go back a little bit. One bit more. Yeah, right here. I was about to invade the Vi on the red. If she did, like, an extra camp, I would have made it to that. But, of course, the Vi was not there. He's here. I will just... Okay, I didn't have to flash. I just knock him up. I auto-attack Q and then auto-attack. That's a big thing to remember. Always knock up, auto-attack, then Q, because it's pretty much a reset. And then here, the Akali. I just stayed down, because then you can see Akali move in her Shroud, which is very beneficial as well with REK'SAI. They both used their flash, which is really good for us. We also both used our flash, but we picked up a kill and they didn't. We killed the Vi. I got the kill on Vi, so my buffs got refreshed as well, which is really nice. And then I just pretty much just steal one of Vi's camps real quick. This camp is worth quite a lot of gold, so I can definitely make something useful here. Now, what I should have done at that stage is recall, but I remember that I kind of overstayed this, trying to get this gank off on the Akali. Of course, she has it warded. I should have guessed that, and probably they placed the ward when I was there. So it's really not smart of my part, because Vi can now just walk into my bot side jungle if she's smart and take 2 camps from me, which was a big mistake. So after, like, those types of plays, always try to back as fast as possible, because else you will lose your camps to the enemy jungler. She is hovering around Raptor camp right here, which is slightly weird. She should have just instantly done this. She would have gotten it for free. Like, she will still get it, but, you know, she could have done this and also took this camp from me as well. So that would have put me slightly behind, because I overstayed a little bit. Take that as a note to yourself. If you make a play like that, always try to back as fast as possible, especially if you kill the enemy jungler, because if you stay too long, then you will lose the other side of your jungle camps, and that's really not worth it. You definitely want to be able to get your jungle camps. Also with REK'SAI, make sure you put those tunnels down. As you can see, I didn't have to use my tunnels there, but I placed the tunnels down so I can use them later on to get through my jungle a lot faster. So anytime you get your tunnels up, make sure you place them down in good positions so you can run through your jungle a lot faster, like over walls like that and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you keep using your tunnels. Of course, if you're about to look for a gank, your tunnel does have a 24-second cooldown. So please be aware of that whilst using your tunnels. But yeah. Alright, here, I placed the pink ward there to give me a good amount of vision. Vi does get spotted, but I see the Akali here. She's level 6, Riven wasn't level 6 yet, so I wasn't about to engage on that or like anything. So I'm just gonna back off, chill. My red buff is about to respawn, so I definitely want to look towards getting that as well. Now, I am in a pretty good stage at this point. I've more farm than Vi does. I am 1 kill up on her, and if she goes top lane right now, right here, I will most likely have her blue buff, I'm thinking. I'm not sure what I do here. I think I'm just gonna take her blue buff. She's just chilling in my top side. Alright, not going for a blue buff. I assumed the Vi probably recalled then. Which, yeah, of course she didn't, but hey. Yep, am I going bot lane? I think I'm gonna go bot lane here. We know I have vision advantage. Yep, okay, nice. Knock them both up, or like knock the Xayah up while she Tom spits them out, and that's pretty there. That's just straight up vision advantage. My bot lane probably told me that we had vision advantage, and then we could just get a free gank like that. Now Vi is in my topside jungle, which is honestly this is good counter jungling on her part. I was bot lane, she knows, or bot side at least. She knows that she can just invade my topside camps, take my wolf camp. I place my tunnel again. She just cleared it. It's also, by the way, if people clear the tunnels and it disappears off the map later, you can see where they were. Now right here, I'm kind of just waiting for Talia a little bit. I also did not want to let the turret go down, so I kind of went in on that. I did miss the kill by Vi on like 1 HP, which is really unfortunate. I mean, I did get him in the end, but if I killed him a little bit faster, then I probably would have survived it as well. I did go in a little bit too early there. I could have stalled the turret's HP a little bit longer and waited for the Talia. But, yeah, that's just a mistake, honestly. That's just a slight mistake. The type of mistakes you die for. Yeah, I still traded 1 for 1, which is definitely not bad at all. It's a good trade, honestly, for me. But, yeah, I should have waited a little longer. And here, just clearing this camp. Seeing bot lane getting some trouble. Time to respond to that. We're a lot stronger than them right now, so we can definitely make something work. I dive with my ultimate on the Corki to chase him down. And this should be like a free triple kill for us. Good counter reaction right there. Yep, she just ults him and it's gone. Okay, we should look for the dragon, I think. It's a free dragon right now. In those types of situations, if you kill the bot lane slash jungler, then doing dragon like this is also always pretty worth. Doesn't really matter which dragon it is. It's literally a free dragon, so you might as well pick it up. You can do it with 4 people at the same time, or maybe 3 if your mid laner wants to farm mid lane or anything like that. So in those situations, you definitely want to look for that. And the only thing I'm slacking on this game mostly is just keeping my farm up. I've been ganking quite a bit more than usual. Just like reacting to plays and maybe digging around a little bit too much. For example, the top lane play I made earlier, I wasted like 30 seconds on top lane, whilst that could have been like 2 or 3 camps that I could have cleared. But that's a slight mistake there. Just keep those in mind. Keep my mistakes in mind as well, so you guys can know that the things you have to look for, really. Now here, as again, you see me just placing the tunnels, keeping those like those tunnel placements going for faster jungle clears. The places I like to put my tunnels, by the way, I'll just go over that real quick right now. I like to put one about here, somewhere that crosses from this wall to about red buff. Somewhere like here, and then I also like to place one here. So right over this red buff wall to the raptor camp. And then this one, right here. You can see it. And then also this one to go into your wolf camp a little faster. Then, I mean, you could place one right here, but usually I place it like here. So you can just walk out a little bit, guide your wolf camp this way. Have the tunnel about here, then go to your blue buff like this, and then right here you don't have to place anything. You can just place one right there to get out of your jungle, or get into your jungle, I guess. That's usually where I place my tunnels. It will save you a lot of time whilst clearing your camp, so it's important that you keep that in mind. Try to place your tunnels in about the similar positions. Like, similar positions count for this as well. You can place one like right over this wall, for example. You can place one like, yeah, right over this wall usually. Then right from this side of the wolf camp again. Here over this wall, here over that wall, and here over like this wall. Those are the tunnels you kind of want to keep placed in most situations, because those will allow you to get through your jungle clear really fast. And that's what's going to allow you to clear your camps really fast while still being able to gank a lot. Because you save so much time by taking those tunnels that you will gain a lot of that. Alright, here I see the potential of bot lane again. They're kind of pushed out. They don't have a turret, so I can just easily go bot lane, especially in combination with my Talia. So I can get going, and then I just need to go back to clearing my jungle camps again. Keeping that clear going. A big thing with REK'SAI right now, if you have like some AD, you can clear the small golems, or the small krugs that spawn with your W as well. Like, as you can see right here, I use my tunnels to get through my jungle. That's a lot faster than just walking. So that's really why you place those tunnels down. But yeah, you can kill the small ones with your like burrowed Q, but also with your unburrow. So those are 2 really good combinations to get rid of a lot of things in that camp. Alright, here, that's a tactic you can do against like squishy targets, especially if you have a lot of fury. You can just Q them once, then ult them, and then you will pretty much get on top of them with a full fury bar, or like close to. So all you have to do is like auto attack once, and then you can E for true damage and then bite them to death. Especially if you combine it with like a blue smite, then yeah. I see Vi still top lane, so I'm kind of looking towards just taking some of her jungle camps, clearing some of this experience away from her. I saw her going there. Alright. This is a tactic against Vi that you should remember. Actually, I'll go back a little bit here. A little bit forward. Now, the Triss just mentioned to me, or like pinged to me, or I saw the Vi walking, or anything like that. So I just Q in the brush because I saw Vi with my like hunt passive W thingy. Now, I flash in front of Vi Q so she can't get away. That's a very big thing to block her with. And I just kill her straight up. I'm 7-1 in 5 right now. I've put a lot of pressure out for my team. This is the type of jungle style REK'SAI wants to do early. You have a really good gank potential. You have fast jungle clears as well if you place the tunnels down. And you can come from pretty much any direction with your tunnels over the wall. So it's pretty hard to ward against the REK'SAI as well. She is definitely a very strong champion to pick up if you want to just put your team ahead. Because most games, this is my average REK'SAI game, honestly. You can literally just like kill some people for free and just get so far, give your team such a lead that there's really not much they can do. Now here, my main item, of course, the first item on rush is Black Cleaver, especially if I'm doing well. You can also go with the Titanic Hydra item rush, I guess, if you want to. If you went for like a press the attack build. But usually I prefer the Black Cleaver, especially if I'm going Electrocute, then I'm going Black Cleaver. You can still go Black Cleaver if you want press the attack. You go Black Cleaver Titanic Hydra damage combination is very, very good. And it's definitely like a recommended combination, as I mentioned earlier as well. Now here's our Vi mid lane, so I'm kind of just like taking her camps away from her. The fight's going down in mid lane though, so I definitely want to respond to that. I probably should have looked towards getting that tunnel, but I don't know why I didn't, honestly. Oh, right here. This is pretty much like kind of team fight mechanics with REK'SAI. Let me slow this down. So I'm keep walking in here. Whoever gets in range first is the one I will go for. So that's gonna be the Vi in this case. I should have probably gone with the Xayah there actually. But I just hit some people, then use my ultimate to get kind of out of the fight instantly, so I become untargetable right there. If you're not tanky enough yet to actually just straight survive it with like some tank items, then you have to use your ult kind of defensively most of the time. Just use it on anyone really if you're like in danger of getting really low and dying. So that's like a very big mechanic to remember. It will give you a lot of time where you pretty much are untouchable, and then you can survive quite a lot that way. Now here Dragon's about to respawn, so I'm definitely looking towards picking that up, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna solo it real quick. It's an Infernal Dragon, so it's definitely just worth getting. Always. Like, Infernal Mountain Dragons are really good. Ocean Dragons are insanely good early game as well. So if it's like the first dragon, you could pick it up as well. Or like look to pick it up. But yeah, also a thing to remember, by the way, when it comes to smiting Barons and Dragons, REK'SAI's E, especially if you've built some AD, will do a good amount of true damage. As you can see, maximum true damage is 358.36. Combine that with your Smite, which at the moment does like 720, but late game, this kind of amounts to about a 1600 burst on like a Baron or a Dragon, which is like a true damage burst as well, so which is really hard for enemy junglers to actually like smite away from you. So make sure you always bite first and then smite whilst your bite lands. That's a very big key thing to remember. Make sure you do that, because that's gonna allow you to pretty much always get the Baron / Dragon from the enemy jungler. Even if like you're trying to go for a smite steal, you can maybe charge up your Fury on something like before you even go in, or just try to hit as many people with like a knock up / Q as possible, so you can get the Fury from that. And then that way you can just use your E, then smite. So whilst your E is about to finish its animation and do the damage, then you smite, and that's the combination. And that will do about 1600 damage late game, and I mean obviously about it will out damage any jungler really in any stage if you have some AD. So that's a very big thing to like remember. Now here I'm just going towards my jungle, clearing it again, making sure I keep my farm going. I am out farming the Vi by a slight bit right here. It could have been a bit better because I, as I mentioned earlier, was a little bit inefficient this game. I stayed top lane too long. I made another like big stally plays. But yeah. Now here I just want to get the Rift Herald because it's about to despawn. I should be able to finish this in time, I think. Yeah, okay, I'm fine. I just finished that barely in time. Like right there, I honestly thought the Akali went over, so I went over as well. She was standing pretty much still, so I couldn't really spot her with my my hunt thing. So yeah. But I pick up the Rift Herald barely in time. I think, yeah, we can definitely use that to break and open an inhibitor. Rift Herald's a very big thing and a very big objective you gotta keep in mind. A lot of people forget to get Rift Herald, and it could... like, it slows you down. Like, if you're at this stage where you're actually a good amount ahead, it helps you close out games because it pretty much just breaks their base open. As soon as you spawn the Rift Herald for an inhibitor turret that hasn't been touched yet, it will lose like half its health. It's pretty much a guaranteed turret kill if you use it correctly. So if you can do that while sieging with your team, then you will always get a good situation out of it. Get an inhibitor, and that will break open the game for you and pretty much get you out of like the stally phase, especially if they have like good wave clear. Alright, here I see a spot of Tahm Kench by himself, pretty much. I see he's quite low. I'm about to ult him, I believe. Yeah, I do ult him. Now, if I didn't get exhausted here, I probably would have stayed in this fight. But because he instantly pressed exhaust on me, I wasn't about to fight that. I probably could have won this, to be honest. I'm a good amount ahead. But just because he exhausted me, I wanted to be very safe and just flash out right instantly. So, yeah. Now right here, my team is going for mid lane. Really what I'm looking to do right now is just clear top lane and potentially put a Rift Herald down here. So I have a lot of pressure in top lane as well. Depending on if they win like a fight mid lane or anything. Yeah, the fight was going well in mid lane. I think I just looked. The fight was going pretty well, and then I just decided to put the Rift Herald top lane so I can pressure top lane in pretty much as fast as they pressure mid lane in. So that pretty much forces the enemy to split up. We have a Tristana when it comes to killing turrets, which is really good for us. And then, right now I have a lot of pressure top lane, so they definitely have to respond to that. Because of their Herald again, Herald offers you a lot of pressure in a game. It's a very big thing to remember. Now I head here, just forcing the top turret down. My team is about to respond to this as well. Yeah, they just react to this. They have no minions mid lane, so there's really no reason to stay mid lane, so they rotate very nicely. barely still did not get that turret though, which is quite unfortunate. Yeah, pressuring two fronts right now. I think we're about to kill this turret on the next wave, I think we're looking for. As soon as you break one turret open, then going back for the inhibitor later on is really no problem at all. So that's definitely a big thing you just want to get out of the way. At least get the turret down. You can always back off right after, but you just want to get that turret down. And that's what we do right here. Get the turret down and back off right after. We didn't really want to overextend fight this because they got a chance to like respawn, get their HP bars back, invest the money that they might have had in their inventory. And we still have quite a lot of gold in their inventory, as you can see. Like 2k across the board pretty much. So that's definitely a big amount of money to spend, and that's pretty much our entire lead as well. So if you don't do that, you're pretty much going to fight on equal grounds, which is not that worth it. I mean, it's not that equal, but you guys get what I'm saying here. So always, if you have like that type of money, just reset. Reset's the best choice in that case. Alright, here I pick, because I'm doing pretty well this game, I'm going for more damage heavy, like more AD heavy build with the GA next. GA is a really good item, especially in combination with like a Black Cleaver, like with a Warrior Smite. You will be able to deal a lot of damage whilst also being quite tanky because of you also have the Guardian Angel to survive extra. So that's really just why I look for that. And after that, you just finish it off with a couple tank items. This is plenty of damage items to get. You can even get a Titanic Hydra at this point, or even like a Randuin's. Randuin's is going to help quite a lot against their team because they have a lot of crit damage. Even though Corki does magic damage with his attacks still count as crits. So you can block it with getting a Randuin's here. Xayah will crit. And then, yeah, just block a good amount of damage off that. Now, Vi is really the only other member on their team that does it, like, that actually has some decent damage because he got a good amount of kills. So really, you don't need that much magic resist. I wasn't worried too much about the Akali or Corki, so I really didn't want to get that magic resist item right there. The crit resist item was more than enough for me. I also have Mercs to give me a slight bit of magic resist this game. I just wanted to make sure I got that against their team because they have quite a lot of annoying, like, snare CCs. I mean, there's a very good argument that Nijitabi would be better this game, but yeah, you know. All right, there. I mean, I'll go back. As you can see, my Smite's on cooldown. So, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this towards my team. She smites it, does miss it though. My E right now does, yeah, about 600 damage. If I had my Smite up, that would have been an easy Smite, but because it was on cooldown and we still wanted to force it, I didn't get the Smite on it. We did luckily still get it though, because Vi miss-smited. I tried to get it with my E, of course. It's still a 600 damage, true damage hit, so it can definitely still get it, but I barely missed it as well, and Trish just got it with like a bomb explosion or maybe an auto attack, which is good for us. If you don't have your Smite, then it's still a very big risk of actually losing the Baron. Classic stopwatch, man. Classic. Alright, here I'm really strong. I'm not really that scared of anything. I can just pressure this down quite a bit. And yeah, we have Baron right now, so we're looking to just get this open inhibitor. After that, you can always go to other lanes as well. But they kind of just walk into us, they just die, and then they give up. That's pretty basic REK'SAI game, honestly. Just make sure you keep gank pressure up. Don't be as inefficient as I was this game. I could have definitely gotten, like, probably an easy 190 to 200 CS. I missed a couple of things here and there because I stayed in some lanes a little bit too long. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. Make sure you place your tunnels down. Tunnels are very important for your jungle clear, so make sure you do that as well. If you have any other questions on REK'SAI, make sure to ask them in the comments below as well. And yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please make sure that thumbs up as well. It means a lot to me. Subscribe for more videos from me as well. And see you guys in the next video. Bye!